Waymo is quietly adding 4 more cities to its growing list of Robotaxi services. And they said they already began testing self-driving cars in Philly, though a human safety driver is still monitoring things. And that's what they do. Once it gets the maps and it gets all the routes, then they say, well, we'll let the cars go on about their business without a human. The human will be removed, and then they'll start offering the services. They were doing that here in Atlanta, and they're doing that in Philly, and they're also setting up manual tests in Baltimore, St. Louis, and Pittsburgh. Now, once the initial phase of the supervision and data gathering, they want to roll out fully autonomous vehicles to those cities, but they're in Miami. And this is all part of a bigger plan to launch 5 more cities across Texas and Florida. They say Waymo taxis are picking up passengers in LA, Phoenix, Atlanta, Austin, San Francisco. And they recently announced that San Diego, Las Vegas, and Detroit would be next. So, hey, not that far away from you, Revis, but that would be pretty dope. Now, this is something that's pretty cool because I saw it. We were going to talk about it, but I said, whoa, whoa, whoa. I don't know if we should or not. But New York City is another important focus for the company's ambitious national expansion. New York has a state law currently that does not allow vehicles to operate without a driver behind the wheel. But back in August, Waymo temporarily received the necessary permit to test the autonomous vehicles in certain areas of Manhattan and downtown Brooklyn. And that testing period ended in late September. And this was the first time a permit of this kind for autonomous vehicle testing deployment had been approved by the city. Now, we jokingly said that it would never come to New York, but they did it in August. And they also said next year, they're partnering with a company called Move to launch a robo-taxi service in London, which will be their first major move outside of the United States. So these fully driverless cars are currently banned in the UK, but new regulations will soon start a long approval process, beginning with government-approved robo-taxi pilots this spring. Waymo is moving. I know you got the one with Elon Musk and his service, but I would not, this is just Tallboy personally, I would not get in any vehicle that does not have the LiDAR technology. And if it does not have that, it kind of senses where things are. I think we showed the vehicle where it showed you everything that was coming in front of us, behind us, and crossing in front of it. Those cameras. Elon Musk's vehicles don't have that LiDAR technology. I probably won't get in one of those. But a Waymo, great experience. It did swerve off a little bit and kind of spooked me for a brief second, but that's no different with a human driver. I've been in cars with certain people where they were driving, and I'm like, hey, do you know what you're doing? So to see Waymo do this, they're saying it's going to be a little bit more safer. So the question that I have, what do y'all think of this? Y'all let me know. Put your comments in here, and your comments will appear on the screen. What do you think of Waymo expanding? I would stay away from anything that Elon touches. Sheila Baker says that would be cool. That's what she say. She like that. Revis, your thoughts?
You and I had already had plans of doing this when we got to Vegas, but you have done it. You would hit the spot 10:06, and it sounds like it's cool. I'm still a little nervous because I want to see what happens when it. I want to see what happens when it rains. I drive a truck. It's not autonomous, but it has all these bells and whistles and everything else. It picks up shadows. When it rains, sometimes I have faults, and I just want to see how this thing works. I don't want nobody to get hurt, but I know something is going to happen. Something is going to happen.
Well, Revis, stop being a hater. Accidents do happen. I'm not saying that this thing is perfect. You have to start small, as Hit the Spot 1006 said. Take a short ride. That's what we did first. We took a short ride. Literally from the train station to the venue. We didn't tell you to go all over town. Now, the one good thing and the one positive thing about all of this is it cannot get on the freeway. So you're only getting on the street route. So they're taking you the street route. You're not on the freeway, Revis. So that's the positive in all of this. I think it's cool. Like I said, you don't have to tip anybody. You don't have to talk to nobody. You're going to get there safely. I just think that you should just try it at least once. I know if they have it in Vegas, I'm going to find a way to get in one. But the fact that we've done it here in Atlanta, it was a great experience. That's all I can really tell you.
So another Waymo is a man. It's not a woman.
Well, I know that's between you and whatever you want to call it. It just gets the job done. That's all I can tell you.
I'm just saying they don't talk you to death when you're in the car. It just knows how to be quiet.
Yeah.
No. I'm just.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Okay, my bad. And the only reason why I keep saying that is because I see the autonomous truck, and I noticed that they're not only going from I-45 corridor down to Houston. Now they're talking about doing Houston to San Antonio, and I did see one coming from San Antonio to the Houston area, but it still has someone behind the wheel. But now they're talking about doing it completely with no one behind the wheel from San Antonio to Houston. And I think I sent that to you.
But that's the semi.
On message.
And it's funny because Revis saw the semi truck last year at CES, at the Consumer Electronics Show, and I asked him, what did he think? And he says, I just met my replacement. So to hear Revis say that, it was like, okay, I got to take this AI a little bit more seriously. Tanya Blazer says, I would be leery of trying it. I've already heard of a lady who couldn't get out of one. I mean, it's not perfect. I mean, no car is perfect. All cars have issues, but the error rate is much smaller than the human rate. I can give you that much. Now, for some odd reason, I've seen videos of the Waymo vehicles blocking one another. The sensors are not reading, stuck in the middle of traffic. I think there was a report the other day about the school buses. They were riding by school buses while the kids were, on a bus with the stop sign pulled out. Who gets that $450 fine? Does Waymo get that fine? Because you can't give it to a human person. So they said that they were trying to work on the algorithm to make sure that it stops, right? What else was it that I heard? I saw somebody, she was stuck in a vehicle and couldn't get out, and she was on the phone with the Waymo customer service. So all of this is an issue that it's not perfect, but they will have issues. And that's all I can really say about that. So it's not to say that they have a lot of issues. I would be very leery of it. But to say that it's very few issues, of course, the negative is always going to sell. It's going to, like, you can have 1,000 positive rides and then you have one bad ride and all of a sudden everyone, I'm not touching that thing. You know that. That's just life in anything that we do.
All right. And Hit the Spot 1006, she did post that it had went through an accident scene. And they kind of brushed it under the rug. There's going to be issues until they can learn to work all these things out. I don't know how they're going to do it, but they're going to have to work these out. And I do want to say that the things I have been sharing with Tallboy, when we start the community, I will be sharing them in the community.
Okay, I like that. It's the Lab Tech Show. Join us Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern at thelabtechshow.com. Embrace it or get left behind.
Alrighty then.